in 57, we're told that M and N are the midpoints of A, B, and CB, respectively. So we want to solve for X and Y. So the fact that M and N are the midpoints means that they bisect each side. So we know that BM and MA are going to be congruent to each other. So we can go ahead and solve for Y first. We have 3Y minus 8 equals 2 times Y plus 1. So if we distribute our 2, we get 3Y minus 8 equals 2Y plus 2. We could subtract our 2Y and we get Y minus 8 equals 2. And then we can add our 8 and we get Y equals 10. For the x's, if you have a mid-segment in your triangle, then that mid-segment is half the size of that third side. So x plus 5, we can multiply by 2 and set it equal to 3x minus 10. So what we can do here is 2 times x plus 5 and set it equal to 3x minus 10. So we get 2x plus 10 equals 3x minus 10. If we subtract our 2x, we get 10 equals x minus 10. And we can add 10 to the other side, so we get 20 equals x. For 58 to 61, we're told M, N, and P are midpoints of our fun triangle here. So that means ZM is congruent to MX. Oops. Too many lines there. There we go. We know that XP is congruent to PY. And we know that NY is congruent to NZ. Okay, the other thing that we know is that MN is half of XY, which means that it actually ends up being congruent to the two small segments. We know that NP is half of ZX, so we know that, these guys are congruent. And then in our last one, MP is going to be congruent to the parts of ZY. Knowing that, let's go ahead and take a look. If XY is 30, then we want to know what MN is. Well, if XY, this bottom part here, is 30, we can just divide it by 2 to get MN, and we get 15. If YZ is 4A, we want to know MP. So YZ has all of our triple tick marks here, is 4A. If we divide that by 2, MP is going to be 2A. Then we have, if the measure of angle YNP is 84, then what's the measure of angle Z? So YNP is 84. So YNP up here. All right, let me erase my extra tick marks here so we can focus on YNP. So YNP, this angle in here, is going to be 84. We want to know what angle Z is. Well, if we take a look at our triangles, this one gets 3 tick marks, this one gets 2, and this one gets 1. That's what we had before, right? This guy also gets 3 tick marks. This one gets 2, and this one gets 1. These triangles are congruent by side, side, side. In fact, we have 4 congruent triangles in here. So if these guys are congruent, we can pretty much take triangle NPY and match it right up with triangle ZMN, which means that if we have a measure of 84 for YNP, then that means angle Z should also be 84. Then we're told the perimeter of triangle MNP is 36. Well, if the perimeter of triangle MNP is 36, that's our smaller triangle here. And let me clear things out here. So if this triangle here was 36, then we want to know the bigger triangle. Well, this side was 2 times this one. This side was 2 times this one, this one, this one. Sorry, dog barking. And these guys. So let's make this kind of easy. If our perimeter is 36, we have 3 sides. So we could say that all of our sides are 12. So if MP is 12, then ZY is 24. If MN is 12, then XY is 24. And this is just to put some numbers to it, right? If NP is 12, then ZX is 24. And if you take a look at that, we can just add up 24 plus 24 plus 24 and get our answer. All right? Now, that would be the easiest way to go about doing it if you can't remember certain little tricks. So we get 72 there, right? The whole triangle, that big triangle, is twice the size, which means we can literally just take that perimeter and times it by 2. Okay, but again, if you can't remember that, apply some arbitrary numbers to it and then just add up all your sides. For the next one, we have AW, BX, CY, and DZ are all parallel, and WX is congruent to XY, which is congruent to YZ. So, all these wonderful parallel lines, WX is congruent to XY, which is congruent to YZ, which means that AB is congruent to BC, which is congruent to CD. We did have something in notes, I believe, somewhere around Unit 7 that stated that if we had parallel lines cut by transversals, then our one set that's congruent on one side means that our other set's also going to be congruent. So if BD is 32, BD is the whole thing. It says find BC. Well, if BD is 32, BC is only half of it. So we can take 32 divided by 2 and we get 16. Then you're told, let me clear my picture here, my little ramblings. So AC is 5x minus 8, AB is x plus 5. So AC, again, the longer one here, is 5x minus 8. AB, half of that, is x plus 5. So we can times AB by 2 and get the length of AC. So 2 times x plus 5 will equal 5x minus 8. So we get 2x plus 10 equals 5x minus 8. We can subtract our 2x, so we get 10 equals 3x minus 8. And when we add 8 to both sides, we get 18 equals 3x. And when you divide by 3, you get 6 equals x. So there's our answer.